Hello, and welcome to a video by ThatSportScienceBlog. My name's Nick, and I'm going to take you through a video for how to produce a ranked report for your sports science data. Now, it's important to point out that Excel has a very quick and efficient way of ranking data, which will be the solution to most of your problems when you're looking to sort or rank your data. However, the method that we're going to use, where we use a rank and then a VLOOKUP, is ideal for dashboards or templates or more automated spreadsheets where you don't want to use that sort function every time and you want that data to be ranked automatically. So to begin with, we're just going to have a look at our raw data. So here's an example of a raw data set. So we just copy that and we pop it into our what will be our template. You can see it's just what we'd presume to be a normal session from, for example, a GPS export. So if I wanted to rank this data, I could just use the sort function on Excel quite quickly, and I could do that, and it does that for me. Okay, but then, for example, if I wanted to take this data set and pop it in here, you can see it's not ranked for me. So I'd have to go back into this function here. Say I wanted to do different, rank it on a different metric. I'd have to do that every time. Okay, and for example, it only ranks the data on one of these fields. What if I wanted a report where I had it displayed twice? So I had a report where the player who had completed the most total distance and the player who had completed the quickest or the max top speed was displayed. Okay, then how would I go about doing that? Now, that's what I'm going to show you. So I'm just going to bring back this first data set here and pop it in here. Now, the first thing we need to do is we need to rank a value amongst the data set. So if we look at total distance here, we need to know where this value comes within the rest of this data. So what I'm going to do is Excel has a rank function. So if we write equals rank, and then we're going to have a look at average rank first, which is this one first. We're going to take our number, which is total distance here, comma. Okay, and then we're going to take our reference, which is all the other numbers that you want it to be compared to. I'm going to close that, and it says it's number 8 within all those other numbers. Now, if I take that all the way down to the bottom, what you're going to see is a problem here. Now, I did this deliberately. If we click here, you'll see this cell reference has dropped down here. So first of all, what you need to do is you need to make sure that you lock these two cell references there. And then we're going to take that down again. Okay, and what we see, because we've gone for the rank average, that it's given you a 1.5, okay, instead of a 1 or a 2 for those metrics that are identical. Now, if we use the rank equal, there we go. We go through exactly the same process. Remember to lock those cell references. Okay, and instead of giving you a decimal place, what it actually does is it returns, if a number is equal, it returns the highest rank. But what you also notice is we then don't have a 2. Okay, so it skips straight from 1 to 3 there. Now, what we can do here using these ranked functions here is just put them in here and write equals exactly the same function. I'm going to comma that. Lock this and drag that down. Okay, now what you notice is now we have a position, a relative position of that data amongst the rest of the values. So what I can do here is I can use a VLOOKUP to look up, because we know that's 1, 2, 3, 4, the position, okay, and get it to return the player name and his score. So if I write equals V lookup value. Now the lookup value is a position, okay, and I'm just going to lock that by column, just in case you want to drag it across. Table array, so the table array starts on its rank position, and then we drag it across our data. We're going to lock that as well. Now I'm going to press comma, column index number. Okay, I want it to find 1, 2, 3, player name, so I'm going to put 3 there, and then I want the exact match. Okay, what has happened there is if we drag that down, okay, and I drag that across 1, and now I want that to show 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for his actual score. Okay, is that, although it's ranked everybody else, because everybody else has a number, where we have the identical value here, which happens quite a bit in our data, it's come up with an error because the VLOOKUP can't find value 1 there, so it has returned an error. So this is a problem that occurs quite a bit when we are trying to rank data for reports, and what we need to do is we need to create a unique data set so that no value is ever the same, so that it can then be ranked. Okay, so the way we do that is we use a helper column. Now these are something that we use in Excel, not too much, but they do help us occasionally. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to write 0.0001. Okay, and this one's going to be 0.0002. So it's an insignificant number. That number is never going to be important in our reports. And I'm going to drag that down so that none of these numbers are the same. Okay, now what we're going to do is we're going to take our data from the raw data and just equals that, because we're building a template, so that's got to update automatically. So that's just equals a player name, and then we're going to put equals the metric plus the unique number, and we're going to lock that unique number by the column, and then we're going to press enter. Okay, and then we're going to drag down. Okay, as you've noticed, it has actually changed the seconds by 1 second, but that doesn't matter to me. You could just increase your amount of decimal places here. Okay, I'll just check that. So what I think has happened there is it has just dragged the formatting over as well. So I'm just going to change the formatting there to a number. And there you go. So now what we have there is we have a table of unique data, which is important because now when we rank this value, okay, or any of these values, they will never have a match in here, so we'll never have 2 1s. So what I'm going to do here is I'm just going to insert 2 columns to the left of that. Now it's really important that you always have the rank to the left of your data, because you will always use the rank as the VLOOKUP. Okay, so I'll explain that again in a second. So this one here, now we're working towards our database, sorry, not database, now we're working towards our report. So we're going to have, we need to find the rank of total distance and the rank of max speed. So this one up here is going to be total distance, and this one up here is going to be max speed. So we're going to write equals rank. Now it doesn't matter which one we use, because there is no identical values in there now. And this is our number, and then we're going to come back over for our reference, lock our reference, close that bracket, and now we know that that one's number 8. And what we should have here is we don't have any duplicate numbers. Okay, and we're going to do the same for max speed here. And I've just dragged that across because I'm a little bit lazy, and I'll just move these cell references across, press enter. Okay, brilliant. And it's done the same thing for us there, and we don't have any duplicate numbers. So now when I come back to my report, I am going to remove that VLOOKUP, remove all of that, because that's no longer what we're using. And I'm going to take it from this table here, okay, and we're going to write equals VLOOKUP, this value, position, so we want to look up number 1, I'm going to lock that by column, and then we're going to go to the table array. Now remember, it always looks up the value in the left hand column for a VLOOKUP, so that's why your rank has to be to the far left of your table. So here's my table reference. I'm going to lock that again, I'm going to comma, okay, and now we're looking for the column index number, so 1, 2, 3, player name, so put 3 in there, and then down exact match, enter. And that we will see is working perfectly this time. Now I just need to count across to find out where total distance is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Change that 3 to a 5. Oh, and you can see we just removed those decimal places, and we'll drag that down. Brilliant. And as you can see, we now have our squad or our players ranked by the total distance completed by each player. Now I'm going to do that for max speed as well, but very quickly, equals VLOOKUP. We're still looking at position 1, lock that by column. And remember now, we're taking it from this column. So put F4 and lock that. Column index number, number 2 for the player name, comma, and we'll have exact lookup. And now we know that Alex has done the quickest speed in that session. And we'll drag that across. And we want to know what that speed was. So we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And now it's given us his max speed. And again, we will drag that down. Ooh. And that has worked for us there. Okay, so here's our position, there's our player, and that's their score. As you can see, I put a nice little graph there to demonstrate that as well. Now, the power of this is if this was a template, you can now go into your input sessions, say you're onto your session 3, you just take that out, pop it in here, paste values, and it's all been done again for you. So that's been ranked again for you like that. Okay, and you can do that with any number of data sets rather than constantly having to sort the data with a data sort there. So here will be your background of your spreadsheet. You put your raw data in here. Okay, then you use a helper column to create unique data, and then you have your table here which has that unique data ranked, and then you use your ranked columns here with a VLOOKUP to return your data in ranked order there. I hope that's helped and it's been informative. See you again next time.